And we're live. We got lots to talk about today. Chris, no. My dog's trying to infiltrate. Come here. Come here, Boober. Come here. There he is. Got some good stuff to talk about today, that's for sure. I need to schedule something today. What's up, Mike? Mike, that thing's in the mail, man. Let me know when you get it, please. Yeah, we went live on Sunday. I think we went live on Sunday. We gave away my Foxtoberfest spot. Really great subscriber got it. And so I hope he enjoys it. It's funny because we had like 15 people trying to get in here to get the spot, but like only like 2 people could figure it out. What's up, Ken? How you doing, man? I'll probably open the stream up here very soon. But I was trying to go live last week, and we had like a crisis, man. We had like my dogs had like the rain from the tropical storm just drove, I guess, fleas into my property, even though I spray. So I had to spray my yard. Hello, Father. This is my dad, everybody. If you're into woodworking, go check out his channel. He's got some good stuff. He's built like literally probably like 80% of my furniture. Better than anything you get in a store, for sure. Top quality stuff. We got some cool stuff here in the garage to talk about and stuff to show you guys. You guys can tell from the thumbnail, we went to a track day, which was pretty exciting. Which actually, I'm going to go ahead and just post this because we'll see if anyone wants to come in. I mean, maybe I give you too much credit. I should like taper it down a little bit. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to figure out how to pin this. I know they changed like the rules on this, how it works.
Here are 3 of my favorite features.
Oh boy. Okay, cool. Still lets me pin. We're good. But yeah, so we took the Boss 2 track day. I need to still bleed the brakes because I overheated them for sure. I will say this though. If you're looking for a new set of brake pads, and possibly rotors, the Power Stop Extreme kit here. This thing, I didn't put, these are my rears, and I haven't done the rears yet. But the fronts, like hard braking, minimal brake dust, way more brake dust on the rears. And the rears used to be my clean brakes, my clean wheels. My rears get dirty so much faster than the front. Like, these carbon pads are awesome. It's the Z26 ceramic or carbon ceramic, low dust, and they are worth every penny. So I'm going to swap those on the Boss here soon. I'm curious as to how worn down the rears actually got. But we got a few things to talk about, and we got 7 people in here. We'll kick this thing off here in a second. Start talking about track day. So we went to our first track day. We actually got invited by Tony's Fords and Mustangs. So he literally gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. There's no I'd been talking about getting the Boss on the track for many years, and I had with the opportunity I was presented, I would have been crazy to say no. Uh-oh, we got some exclusive stuff coming in here. Oh, snap. You guys hang around for a bit. We got some exclusive pictures of the future project for those of you who haven't seen it. We'll put something up for you guys. What's up, Nate? How you doing? Fat Boy Fox, what's going on? Mike, how you doing, sir? Mike, you enjoying this North Carolina weather? It's finally like nice. I don't know how this got over here. This is a Boss 302 like side pipe gasket. So not only did we go to the track, we also were able to. So you guys know, I've been looking for the Boss 302 Holy Grail parts, and I got the other one. Well, actually, there's a couple out there, but the two key Holy Grail parts I now am in possession of. As you know, the Airaid cold air intake is on the car. We got this box in the other day. I actually had a subscriber who I met at Ponies in the Smokies, not this past year, but the year before, I believe, is when I went. They did the Boss 302 display, and I brought my car. I brought my middle son Maddox's car, and we did a run. Me, my dad, and some friends of ours. We went to Mount Pisgah, and we did a run up and down the mountain. It was a lot of fun. It had just rained. The roads were disgusting. The car got nasty. And so I pulled into the convention center at Ponies and Smokies, and I had to detail the whole thing. And I spent a lot of time detailing the whole thing. What's March 22nd? It was March 22nd of 2021. Anyways, or 2021 or 2022. 2022? Whatever. But I spent a lot of time detailing the car. And while I was there, guys, that was really my first. We're still a really small channel, but the cool thing about my channel is that it's such a small group that are Boss 302 guys that own Boss 302s. That once you kind of make your name in that group, people kind of know you, which was kind of neat. So I actually had a bunch of guys come up to me who were in the inside displays and said that they like my channel and they appreciate the stuff we do with the kids. And one of the guys was Benjamin Cummings, and he has a Oxford White 2012, and he had, let's see, he had what's in this box on his car, and he reached out to me, basically saying that he appreciates the fact that you can't hear. Can everyone hear me or no one hear me? I'm assuming people can hear me. Can you hear me now with my pretentious mic, my boom mic? All right, so he reached out to me basically saying that he appreciates the stuff I do with my kids and how I get them involved in the car community and stuff like that. He also brought his little boy to Ponies and Smokies. He had a beautiful car, but I guess he's changed up a setup, so he gave me first dibs at these. If you guys don't know what these are, I've only been talking about these on my channel since I started it. This is a huge deal for me. I am so freaking excited and happy that I was able to get my hands on a set of these. They are so rare for the Boss 302. I now have the Parnelli Jones carbon fiber Airaid cold air intake, and these are the Cook's side pipes. These basically, if you don't know why they stopped making these, I talked to Cook's directly, and these things are basically hand rolled right here. and it actually cost them more to make these than they made selling them. So they discontinued it. But I mean, that opening is way more substantial than the stock pipes on the Boss. And so I have the Resonator deletes on my side pipes. And so what I plan to do is do a video to kind of show people the comparison to the Resonator deletes versus what the Cooks sound like, and we'll see how close they are. Just looking at these, I think these are going to be louder because you can kind of see how the tip is trumpeted, and it's trumpeted out the side, whereas the stock pipes curl down and they have a small opening facing downwards. I think these are going to be way louder. I can't wait, man. This is so awesome. The Boss Finity Stones. That's exactly what it is. I might steal that. That might be the name of the video, Fat Boy Fox. That might be the name of the video right there. And I might have to create some stupid little graphic for it. But we might do that, man. But I'm planning on installing these hopefully on Friday. I think I have the day off from work, so I'm gonna try and get them done on Friday. The Boss 3, the track day video. Sorry guys, I know it's probably pretty loud in there. The track day video is uploaded. It's ready to go. It will be posted on Sunday because I think in general I just like posting on Sundays. But we'll get that up on Sunday. I also have the Cooks one will come after I did the Roush versus Flowmaster Outlaw comparison. I did the Roush versus Flowmaster Outlaw comparison. We'll put that video up. Then we'll put the Cooks Side Pipes video up. And we got some – it's exciting, guys. It's real exciting. We got some really good Boss 302 content coming up that we haven't had for a while due to my schedule, like everything going on at home. My boys are playing – my oldest is playing travel ball, so that's really important to me. My kids are obviously the most important thing to me. So, it's nice – oh, shoot. It's nice when I can actually dive into my hobby a little bit and get the kids involved. And speaking of, we got Tony's Fords and Mustangs here, guys. So he's the one who he kind of gave me no choice other than to come out to a track day. I had no reason I could say no other than fear of crashing my car. But like the group that I went out with was Rally North America. I think they have their own show on Tubi, in fact. Antonio will chime in, I'm sure. But like it was great group of guys, people with cars vastly more expensive than mine, but everybody was super, super down to earth. I went out there and the funny thing, please do hit the thumbs up, guys. It does help us out a little bit. And if you haven't, go check out, we got Mustang, you got Mike's Garage, but check out Tony's Fords and Mustangs. He's got a great channel, very informative, good stuff on there. But we went out there. They did a little. I pulled up to the gate. I was the first one at the track, and it was just because I kind of didn't know. I didn't really know how it was going to work, and I didn't know like when I got there, the gate was shut to the track, and so I'm sitting there. Oh no, Mike, man. Hey, MJ, I appreciate you, brother. And I got what you sent me, Mike. And dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna share part of it tonight, Mike. I'm just gonna show for the people who are here till the end. We'll show them a sneak peek of what you're doing and what's gonna be parked right here very soon. But MJI, man, I'm stoked, dude. I can't wait. But yeah, so let's talk about the track day. The video is not going to kind of capture all of it, but it's going to capture a good amount. One of my cameras failed me. SD card kind of formatted itself out, and it didn't do anything. But I still got enough to make a good video and get some good footage out there. Showed up to the track, and immediately rolls in right behind me a guy with a 2023 Hellcat, then a Z06 and a ZL1. And I'm like, man, am I going to have the slowest car here? That's what I was thinking at first. So we get out there, they do their little safety spiel. I went with, there's two groups. There was an advanced group and an intermediate group / beginner group. And I went with that group because I'd only been to Skip Barber Racing School. So that's really not like obviously it's not a ton of track time. So I wanted to get out there with other guys that are kind of feeling their way around. And I'll say this, and I'll give Tony some credit. And if the guys, tell me if the link is pinned. I thought I pinned it, but maybe I didn't. If anybody wants to hop in here, you're more than welcome to, and we can still tell the story. It's no big deal. But yeah, so Tony's giving this little spiel, and so is the other guy who's a pro driver, or at least the resident professional for their group. And I'm listening to this, but then Tony kind of tells me, go out there, go 4 or 5 laps. Your brakes are going to get a little hey, good night, Dad. Your brakes are going to get a little spongy, and you're going to want to come in, cool down. Then you'll be able to go back out. Well, I should have listened to him. I'll say that. But I was out there, and I stayed out probably for about 20 minutes straight, almost. And my brakes didn't feel like they were fading. The only reason I came in is because my front tires got hot, and I could tell I was understeering like crazy. When you watch the video when I upload it, the last lap, I was chasing a GT500, and I would have had him. I would have ate him up if my front tires weren't understeering like crazy in every turn. I have Firehawk 500s and Firestone Firehawk 500s, and the entire first 15 minutes at least, they were great. Like, they were holding themselves great. I was very happy with how the car was handling. And I adjusted. This is the first time I've adjusted the struts on a Boss ever. Like, I've never really played with it. I adjusted it, I went 5 up front, 4 in the rear, and I thought the car was handling awesome. So we were right behind when we started. We were right behind the 2023 Hellcat. So I was fully expecting this guy to kind of a lot of these guys, I figured they've done this before, and I was fully expecting him to walk away from me. And I should have definitely had more confidence in myself when I went out there, because I thought I handled myself pretty well. That Hellcat went about 4 laps, and then he realized that he couldn't shake me off his tail, so he finally let me by. Obviously on the straight, the Hellcat's going to pull on me, but he finally let me by because he realized he was actually holding me up in the duration of pretty much, the 80% of the course that wasn't the straight, he was blocking me and in my way. So he let me by, and it was a good time there. I can't remember, maybe Tony's in here. That BMW, Tony, the gray one that was behind me, I don't know which one that was. Was that an M2, M4, M5, M3? I'm not sure which M car that was, but the Beamer behind me was pretty quick. And I actually went to him afterwards, and I was like, hey, man, did I hold you up? I didn't want to hold you up at all. He's like, no, actually, he's like, I wish the Hellcat had gotten out of our way sooner, because I thought it was actually really, I was going to have to push myself just to keep up with you. So, I thought it was awesome, the fact that my 12-year-old or almost 12-year-old M4, my almost 12-year-old car was handling itself very well. Stock. It's all stock. And it was keeping up with these newer cars. So honestly, I was so shocked and impressed with how the Boss handled itself. I had a great time. And Tony, man, I thank you, man. I can't say it enough. I'm hooked for sure. I do still think I want to get a supercharger on the car. But I will definitely take into account everything you've told me, Tony, for when I do go on the track next, and take it a little more easy. But I was talking about my dad. Yeah, check out my dad, guys. He's got good stuff. He makes a lot of good stuff, and it's all for sale too. Like, this was a shift knob we made for the MGB we had on the channel, the OG MGB. But yeah, track day was a lot of fun. Definitely want to go back out. Unfortunately, since I did stay out so long, I pulled in after my tires were kind of giving out. I was like, all right, I'm pushing it too hard. And the brakes felt fine up until the moment I parked. And then I felt like I lost all feeling in my brake. And I get out and I look, and I go to the rear passenger brake, and I could see brake fluid in my wheel. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's not good. I was like, oh, that's not good. Yeah, you were right, Tony. I told you that afterwards. I said, you were right, man. I said, that's not good. And I got out there and looked at it and we took the wheel off. I didn't have tools. I seriously debated bringing tools the entire, like the night before. I was like, man, I want to get all the weight out of my car. You know, I didn't pack chairs. I didn't even think about it. And I was like, I want to get all the weight out of my car. And so I stripped everything out of my car, threw it in the garage here, and we went out there. But luckily, like, other people were smarter than me, and they brought tools. And it's like I had like 3 people offer me a low profile jack the car off. Oh boy, oh god, no, we didn't do that. We jacked the car up, and we got the rear wheel off, and we looked at it, let it cool down. We were seeing if we thought at first that the fluid was leaking out of the bleed line. So we thought maybe it was sitting there, it just was loose or something. It squirted some out after it got boiling hot. But honestly, it looked like it came out of the piston itself on the caliper. After it cooled down, it was fine. I took it to the nearest car wash station on the way home, cleaned it off. But I dared not go back out after some. Talking to by Tony. Tony, got a question for you, man. And maybe it's not the forum to answer. I was on their website. Is it $250 for an hour for an entire group, or is it $250 per car? Because I was on their website and it made it look like it was $250 for the track for an hour. If it's $250 for an hour, man, I kind of want to get my own group together and go up there. But I guess I'd have to talk to you about like what kind of, if there's any waivers and stuff I got to sign or insurance kind of dealios. But I think I could find. Yeah, per car. Dang, that sucks. I mean, it's still a pretty good deal, I guess. But like, I could not. Obviously, I could only last little spurts at a time. I guess like if I were to save the YouTube revenue and go out there for track days for that, that's not too bad. But Mike's Garage, you're in my neighborhood now. Like, I'd consider going out there and renting the track and trying to get or not renting the track, but trying to get a few people on here together, right? That'd be kind of cool. You carry your own insurance. Gotcha. No, it wasn't. And that's how far it was for me too, Mike. I drove 2.5 hours from here. And I drove 2.5 hours, car brakes overheated, and then I drove 2.5 hours home. So I made it home, thank God. But I had a lot of fun, and I definitely pushed the car. It was nice being on that straight because I made sure that I did not short shift the boss. Like, I shifted at red line or right before the red line or right at every single time. Actually, so when you watch the video, guys, I was following. Yep. Dipstick, you're the guy with the crazy fast. You're Sean's friend, man. You're the guy with the crazy fast rain lap video. I love that video. Oh, gosh. I'll have to check that out, Dipstick, for sure, man. I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? I completely blanked out on what I was talking about. Oh, it'll come back to me in a second. 2.5 hours, not a bad drive. Always have an extinguisher. For sure. And actually, I do have extinguishers. And that's smart of you, Dipstick, to say, because I did not think about that. I have one in here, and I didn't put it in my car, and I definitely should have. That would have been the smart and responsible thing to do. For sure. But I definitely want to get back into it more. It has made me reconsider a few things. So, guys, I will say this. To get the Cook side pipes, what's up, Victor? to get the Cook side pipes for the Boss, which you guys know I've been after these things since I bought the car, because I talk about it all the time. I did have to dip into my blower savings a little bit. And I'll say this. I'm still saving for a blower, guys. But the track day has made me consider reallocating those funds for other things, like suspension mods, stuff such as that would help the car be better on the track. We do still have the one-piece drive shaft that we need to get on. We have lots of things that could make it quicker and just more nimble out there. And I need to get this one piece on for sure. But I'd have to get it up on a lift, drop the mid pipe, and I'd have to drop the mid pipe, put it on, put the mid pipe back on. I'm kind of concerned. So there's a place on base here where I can get on a lift for like $8, and there's a drive-on lift. And the only thing that makes me nervous about that is the fact that I think when I drive on, if I were to do it to install my Cook side pipes, I think that when I drive off, I might actually be too low to make it off. So I might be in some trouble there. I think I'll scrape the side pipes. I'd have to look at it, though. Oh, we got more pictures rolling in. MJI's sending photos, guys, of the if you guys don't know, we do have a new project car getting worked on. It's not mine yet, but it will be. It will be. I've been waiting for this for a long time. But yeah, that was like the crux of that was basically the gist of my track day. It was it was short, cut short by me because I stayed out too long. But, I still was out long enough to have a great time. I brought the two boys with me. So I brought Leighton and Maddox, my two oldest boys, and they were able to get out on the track they were able to get out for the parade laps. We won't have that in the video because, let's see. We won't have that in the video because I recently got a violation for my son revving my Boss 302. So I imagine if that got a violation, then having them on the track in a car in a video will not be great. So you guys won't see that, but they went out there. They had such a good time. They really enjoyed it out there. And they got to be up in like the flagger station and watching the cars fly by. Some really beautiful cars, Ferrari was out there. What Ferrari was that, Tony? If you get 25 cars with insurance, you would be looking at $3,000 to rent the track for a half day. That's about $120 per car. You need someone there that is an instructor and a set of rules. Gotcha, Tony. Understand all. Well, I don't know if I know the people for that, so I'd have to do some serious research, and because of what I do for a living, I honestly don't know how much time I have anyway. I might have time to do another show this week. I did a car show this past weekend. I might have time to do another show this weekend. And then we got some baseball stuff coming up. So you're saying, Tony, are you saying that each person has to have track day insurance? A tributo. Okay. Tributo? I don't know. One of the two. And I think I pinned the link, guys, so anyone who wants to hop in, you're definitely welcome to. I think I burned through my topics already here. Oh, there we go. What's up?
Sorry, I was just listening. I know you said anybody can get on, but it's easier just to listen and let you go.
No, you're good, man. I'm trying to make sure, check something real quick. Yeah, so we got you get insurance for the day for the group. So $3,000 would cover your whole group.
think it's 3,000 plus the plus insurance.
Yeah.
25 cars with insurance.
Yeah, but it was what's it? Have some short 2x8, 2x10 wood joists in your trunk and use them to get off the lift. I might be able to. I'm worried about the cook side pipes catching right at the top of the ramp as I back down after I change them out. I thought about because I was gonna go do it on base on Friday because it's so convenient to drive up, lift it up, fix it, drive it, and put it down.
So if I remember correctly, if you're going to put the one-piece drive shaft on, it's been a year now, but if I remember correctly, I did the transmission, I did the clutch and all that at the same time, and it was the last piece I put on. I'm almost positive if you're on a lift, you don't actually have to drop the center section because you can pull the drive shaft through the front, it pulls right down out without touching the exhaust. But on jack stands, I don't remember. I think you got to put it on an angle enough that you would have to drop it.
You had the transmission out of the way, right?
No, I had it all back in. It was the very last piece I was putting back in.
I mean, I gotta loosen up. I gotta tighten down my mid pipe anyway. So I'd bring my pneumatic gun, loosen everything, tighten it, lift it up, tighten it up, and then I guess I just gotta look at it. So I gotta look at the bolts that I have to install. Aren't there like hex bolts?
What, for the exhaust?
No, for the one piece. We can look at it right now.
Yeah, there is. There's 4 hex bolts and then 4 Allens and then 2 regular bolts. And it's because of the way it's shaped with the universal. Stupid flies. I wish I'd have never opened up my doors today.
Hey, Colin, what's going on, man? Yeah, I've got. See, I got to make. I guess the cool thing about the base hobby shops is that they have every tool you can need. You just check it out.
That makes life nice.
Yeah, you pay by the hour, and it's like it used to be like $8 an hour. It's probably like 12 or something now, so it's still not bad.
I will say, getting that old drive shaft out, probably better if you have 2 sets of hands.
Why's that?
Because it's 2-piece, and when you pull it out, you're gonna be like, "Oh God, I did not know this weighed that much." I bet it weighs 3 times what the aluminum drive shaft or more is. It's ridiculous.
That's why I go to the gym.
I got lucky. I had people standing there, and I like dropped the carrier, and I went, "Oh, this is a lot heavier than I thought." Well, then you're trying to get 2 pieces pulled out.
What's up, man?
Yo,
What's up?
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sick. I'm in my garage. I actually just have the drive shaft. I have the one piece,
Yeah.
and I'll have it off the car right now, but it's at the shop, and I did it on the car like this. So,
Cool.
oh wait, how can I flip?
You have to go to settings.
Oh, there we go. So in my garage, I barely have any space, and I took the drive shaft out like that.
Hold on. It's okay.
Oh wait, is it?
So
Okay.
did you have to lower the mid pipe, or is you got it out through there?
No, the exhaust is fully on. Hold on, let me get a flashlight.
Yeah, you got some awesome track videos, by the way. Now that I got you out here.
Thanks. I gotta upload some more stuff. Now I got my fake air.
Well, now that you showed me the front of your car, you did remind me I am still missing one Boss 302 part. I'm missing that Laguna Seca lip.
I'm missing the Cobra next to you.
I think your signals jump. Is it my? No, because you're still moving, Nate.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so I have it like barely jacked up, and I managed to wiggle it out of there. Not much room, but I'm kind of small.
Yeah, I got you. So I think if I get it up, it's not gonna be hard. how much of a pain is it to get cracked? Well, I guess you've probably had yours off for a minute. Nate, how much of a pain was it to get the old one out, like the bolts?
It wasn't hard at all.
Okay.
I also used a 3/8 impact.
Yeah, so I got a 3/8 impact, so I'll probably use that. Did you use a gun, not a wrench?
Yeah, I rarely use my ratchets. Like I've got the garbage, like all my ratchets I better broke because I haven't used them in so long.
Are those Apex wheels?
No, these are BBS.
Ooh, those are even rarer, probably. Yeah, those are nice. Yeah, I'm definitely into finding more track-friendly mods.
Yeah, go for good brakes. Get the gyro disc.
Those are the 2-piece, aren't they?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I have the really big Brembos, the thick pads, the endurance pads.
Are those the 6 pistons? Hey, Tony, thanks for stopping by, man.
Oh no, those are still 4-piston.
Yep.
They look way bigger than our factory ones, though. Maybe it's just because you got it closed up.
What? That's not. Is that a Boss or is that a GT?
It's a GT.
Yeah, doesn't matter. You still drive it faster than a lot of the guys I've seen. So, what have you done to that thing?
Everything.
There you go.
Finally.
Ooh, I like that rear window. Yeah, I want that steering wheel too, right there. Man, you definitely stripped her out.
It was like whenever you went to the Skip Barber school, you were like, I'm afraid to take that car on the track. I don't really want to wreck it. I got to get a dedicated track car. So is the Boss going to become the new dedicated track car?
No, I mean not dedicated track car, but like I think that now I'm just not, the fear of taking it out's not there.
Yeah.
What I would do is just because I do care about it, right? Like I don't want anything to happen to it since it's a lot of memories of my kids and stuff. I think what I would do is be cognizant of where I'm taking it. Like VIR is a great track, but it's very skinny. It's like half the width of the track I was just on. And it's very easy if you get out of shape to go off track. So, I wouldn't, there's a lot of runoff room, but there's also a lot of places where if you run off, you're going to really regret it and you're probably going to crash. What you got there? I'm trying to zoom. I'm on my, hold on. What was that? Impact?
I need one of these.
Is that the hydraulic dampers?
No, that's a surge tank for fuel.
Oh, wow.
These cars they have with the saddle tank, the fuel tank, you're going to run into fuel surge problems after half a tank of gas.
Because of the fuel sloshing around?
Yeah, with the saddle type tank. Or you can always just fill up gas all the way, but that's a lot of extra weight.
Yeah.
On an otherwise heavy car. Even when it's stripped out, it's still a heavy car.
Oh, I topped off right before I got to the track because I wanted to make sure I can get home. I didn't know how much I was going to burn while I was out there. All right, you showed us that. Can I see the car that's behind you?
That's the car that's from the Fast and the Furious. It's the Cobra. It's identical. If it's not a Cobra, it's a replica.
Yeah, it's a replica car.
Still looks good, man.
Replica Cobra R. The Cobra R V6. It's my beater, piece of junk beater.
That's all right. There's actually, I know somebody who, I don't know how, I follow them, they follow me on a couple of the apps, social media apps, but they acquired one of the cars. What's up? Oh man, get some good stuff in here today. Look at that. I wish I had that 4-post right there.
Yeah, me too.
How you doing, man?
Good. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. What you got going on?
Well, it's the first time.
I think you briefly cut out. First time something.
Checking in.
I think your Wi-Fi is cutting you short halfway through a sentence. If you can hear me.
I'll see if I can work on that.
Yeah. Oh, you got the. Is that the Blowfish tow hook? Which tow hook is that, Dipstick?
It's the Ford Performance. Ford Racing. You guys need. I highly recommend these. Are the AJ Hartman? Because they've got the spring loaded, so when you go over bumps, it can spring compress.
Oh, I like that.
But then it also, if you can like stand on it, it doesn't go down; it only goes up. So they work really good. I've already gone off a few times with these on the car, and they haven't broke yet.
It's the little things. That's cool.
That
That
is
somebody
cool.
came up with an idea of rather than
Yeah.
just a metal rod, how can we make a metal rod and make it better?
Well, rather than snap it and push it into
Yep.
your bumper and rip your bumper off all the way. It's not. That's cool.
I've got little skid plates on the bottom of it too.
Yeah, I got something from, and I have never put them on the car. I got those weird like 3M stick-on rubber sacrificial ones that I have not put on the car. I didn't buy them. I won them on somebody else's channel. They're just sitting in here. I haven't done anything with them yet.
My splitter's already scraped up, so
My splitter's still in decent shape, so I should probably try and keep it in decent shape.
whoever had mine before me didn't know how to not run over curbs.
Hey, so dipstick. So I don't know if you've ever seen it, man. There's a let's see if I can find the picture. So if I ever repainted my car, or not even repainted it, if I ever wrapped my car, we'll call it that, because I don't think I'd paint it. There was the Ford CEO. I don't know if it was Farley or someone else. He had a matte black 2012 Boss 302, and it was, let's see. See if I can find it. It was matte black and it had gloss black stripes, and it looked so good. And your car reminds me of it a lot.
Like the Black Laguna.
Sort of, but it was a 2012, and it was not gloss black. It was just black. It was matte black with gloss black stripes. It was different. I'm trying to find my download folder on my phone. There it is. Here we go. Yeah, I got a picture of it. I'll get it up here. So if I ever change my car, this is the only look I would ever go with. 'Cause I like it a lot. Yeah, I like that.
Mine's the same idea. I made like a 302S sticker in gloss. So it's like
I like
S197R
Yeah, that's cool.
in gloss, and then the rest is like satin black.
See, I like it when people do their own thing, right? I think that's neat.
Numbers.
Can you still buy Laguna Seca front splitter? They still make. They don't. Ford doesn't make them, but you can. There's people that make replicas. You can find them out there. There's a couple people in the Boss group that have made them in the past, and they'll make them in little batches. I don't think they keep them on hand. But I've seen them pop up. So
He still got the guy on the Boss channel, a Boss group, still has them available. I messaged him a couple weeks ago. He said, "Yeah, I still have them."
So I'm probably gonna. I might dig into that too. But if I get one now, I'm sure it's gonna be like the last of my the rest of my supercharger money that I've saved, because I did have to spend a good amount for the cooks. But I've been looking for them for so long. I felt like it would be stupid for me not to pull the trigger.
And here's the thing: is if you don't want them, you can turn around and probably sell them for exactly what you bought them for.
But that's the thing. I do want them.
Well, if you put, that's the thing is you might put them on. You say that now. 2 years from now, you're like, man, it's time to change it up.
Yeah. Hey, Clay, what's up? Clay here won my. I gave away my Foxtoberfest spot, so I'm not going to be able to make it. And Clay's the guy who won them.
Nice.
What's up, Clay? But But yeah, I mean, so I do have a good idea now though, and this kind of ties back to my last project car. So I'm gonna reach out to my buddy who's a local welder, and I'm gonna have him whenever the new project gets here. I've already mentioned it's a Fox body before, but when it gets here, I'm gonna have him look at it and see what it would take. I have an extra Boss mid pipe. Can we put a Boss mid pipe on a Fox body and my side pipes? I got 2 sets of stock side pipes. So what would that look like? How much of a pain in the butt would it be? Would it interfere with the transmission? If no, I think it would be awesome to have the only Boss 302 exhaust Fox body.
I believe you should do it.
I think it'd be cool. I just think it's gonna be a lot of work. How can I get a hold? So I would go on
right now.
I was about to say, well, Nate's gonna look them up, but you could also just go on the Boss group and on Facebook, Boss Owners Group, and search for Laguna Seca splitter, and it should pop up. Are you good to go now, Cobra R? Oh, it's Cobra R77, right? What's your name, man? Can you hear us?
I think so. Does it sound better? My name's Todd. I think we're on
Todd.
the same boss group on Facebook. I'm on a few of them.
Yeah, the Boss group. So the Boss groups, I'll say this, guys. Of all the Mustang groups I've ever been in, the Boss group is the least toxic. And I've met like one dude that was a total, eat bag. And I actually called him out for it. I was like, man, how's it feel to be the lone wolf that's a complete tool in this entire group? And he actually apologized to me later, so that was pretty neat. That never happens on the internet. So what do you got behind you? I see the Boss. I'm curious what you got done to your Boss, and then what do you got below it? Is that a Cobra?
That's a 2012 Boss. It's actually a crash car that I put back together. Started putting some Boss 302S wheels in there. It's a T56 Max XL on there. Those wheels are actually off my Laguna Seca, which is my daily driver. I have a 13 Laguna Seca.
Awesome.
Up in the garage. But
awesome.
This is going to be my drive/track car. At least that's the idea. And then below it is Cobra R77. So it was a full race car in IMSA, 1995 to 97. If you look up on YouTube, Cobra R and Pikes Peak, there's some decent video of it going up Pikes Peak. ESPN had their onboard camera in it. I also have several other videos I've collected from some drivers or even broadcast video from those years. So I don't know, it's pretty cool. I also have another one over here, Cobra R 66. It's been hiding for about 25 years. I think it last ran in 97 or so, and I just fired it up a few months ago. So I'm hoping to get it out to the track here sometime soon as well.
Dude, that's awesome. Where are you located at?
San Antonio.
Okay. It's a good place for all this.
How about you? I'm thinking Vietnam, maybe.
Close. I'm in Jacksonville. I'm in Camp Lejeune.
Okay.
But it's not bad here. I like it. It's a lot better than Norfolk. Norfolk is let's see how many people from different parts of the country we can cram in one little spot. And good luck driving. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But hey, man. So you got let me make sure I count right. You have 4 Mustangs there. 2 Bosses. That's awesome. That's like the dream right there. I'd say I want a 13 and a 12. That'd be like perfect. But that's the thing though. I want so many different things that I got to be realistic and figure out, what I'm gonna do. So I got the new project car. It's gonna be coming soon. It's getting worked on right now, and I'll actually, we've been in here long enough. I'll go ahead and show a sneak peek of what's happening. But that's coming, and then eventually. We've been camping this past year with my kids a lot because we do travel ball, and it's convenient to pull a camper to travel tournaments instead of buy a hotel. It's cheaper too. But we think we want a bigger camper, so that means I got to get rid of my daily driver and get a truck at some point. Let's see. All right. So this is what's going on right now. So this is, if you guys haven't seen it, because a lot of you haven't, this is the future project car for the channel. How many people we got in here? 11. Nobody. We're good. Let's, hold on. Let's see. Getting scuffed up.
Nice.
And primer. And right now it's getting some body work done, so it's not quite done yet. But they got
What color did we paint it?
Oh, it's gonna be black. It's gonna be black, and I'm kind of panicked about. So my old car, right? Like the paint was okay. My old project car, the paint was okay, but it was like I wouldn't say it was perfect. So I pulled it in here, and I have a trailer that's folded up against my wall right here, and the clearance between the car and the trailer, like little neck, the gooseneck sticks down, or not gooseneck, the neck was literally like 2 inches, if at most. And now I'm reconsidering where I stow that trailer because I really don't want it to. I don't want to scratch a brand new paint job. Oh, I'd love to drive a 350R, Rich. I don't have access to one, so I did drive a 350, but I drove it in the rain. And the other thing is too, like when I test drive cars. So my buddy from the local dealership, he lets me know, I can go drive cars off the lot pretty much whenever I want. But the problem is, like the stuff that people want to see, like I don't do that stuff. Like I don't do crazy things. I've got a good life, I have a good job, even though it's military, but like, I can't afford to lose my job by doing something stupid. And then also, like, I take my kids in those things, so I'm obviously not going to put my kids in any danger. But I love test driving cars out. We took the Bullet out last. They do have a couple Camaro. They have a couple Camaros. They got a C8 over there right now and a C7. I've never driven a Corvette. I'd love to hop in a Corvette just to do it. Problem is, I need a back seat. So what mods? All right. So you said that's a track rebuild car. You said Todd, right? You say Todd?
Yes.
Okay. So what mods does it have right now?
So it's got the Boss 302S grill. It's got the Tiger Racing hood. Those are all damaged in the collision. So I bought the chassis from the parts farm for $3,000. Then let's see. It's got a lot of the goodies, even though it's the 12, are 13. So it's got the 13 headlights and taillights, gauges. Let's see. So I put the Recaros in it. I put the Torsion T2R in it. It's got the Laguna Seca spoiler on the back. And then the T56 Magnum XL.
Yep, I heard you say that. That's awesome.
So,
yeah,
How do you like that? The T56.
How you like it? He said.
I like it. I haven't really been driving it much on the street. I had a braking issue, and then I've got several other projects that keep sidelining me.
I hear you, man.
So, yeah.
So I drove.
It's a mess over here, but let's see. You can probably see right there. That's Cobra R 66. And then I have Land Rover up here that I'm putting an LS in. And then behind here, these are buried, so you can't even see them. So that's going to be Boss 302R 002 and 015. They only made about 24 of those. Both of them were pro raced and crashed. So I'm working on getting parts for them.
You have 4 bosses.
Yes.
Dude,
Yep.
I'm gonna have to come visit you at some point in the future.
Yeah, swing a TDY over here. I was just over there TDY last week. My wife is in Warrenton, Virginia right now, so I went up there with her and stopped in the DC area.
That's
So,
awesome, man. That's awesome, dude. Like honestly, I mean, I never had the money at the time for it anyway, because it was too early in my career. But when those when they moved the Track Attack from Utah to Charlotte, and they sold all the 302R cars and 302S cars, they were selling them for like high 40s. I mean, it wasn't outrageously priced for a lot of them, and like it was actually a great deal. And I just didn't have the money, and couldn't have done it. But like looking back at it, it's like kick yourself, because they're worth a ton.
some of the S's will pop up every now and then. So I do have a page on Facebook. It's the Boss 302R, Boss 302S page.
Okay.
So if you want to check that out,
Yeah, I'll check that out.
but every now and then there'll be an S that pops up that has some issues. And, if you're planning on tracking it anyways, it's just, it's something you can work with, it's character.
Yeah, the thing is though, like I'm still, I've got a very young family still, so like
I understand.
priorities are priorities, and I count myself blessed to have what I have with what I've got going on in my life. So I dare not stretch myself too thin. So
Definitely understand that.
but
Yeah, I had 2 kids, and they're in their early 20s now, but both of them were playing softball and football, and that really takes a lot of time and money. So I definitely understand. But I heard you talking about that you're thinking about putting some money into suspension, etc. It is a Boss. It's set up for the track already. I think that money put towards track time would be a really good investment.
It is. But there are certain parts to it. Like it is set up for track. You're right. But there are still parts that you can upgrade that will beef it up a little more. Like even like just the control end links, stuff like that. Like things that, or some of the control arms that are just that there's beefier objects out there that make it a little more robust. But I mean, it handled itself really well. Honestly, one of the first things I'd go after would be bigger brakes, and then I'd probably go after a larger front and rear tires. Probably I'd like to go 10 squared if I could. I know a couple of guys in the Boss group who do like the I think it's Nazario. He does if you're in the Boss group, he does the Optima Street Car Challenge every year. And I think his engine blew last year, so I don't know if he did it this past year. But he runs 10.5 square or 11 square. I mean, he's got a monster setup, and his car is a beast. And he tracks his all the time. There's other guys in there who Oscar in the group. I don't remember his last name. It's Fisher, I think. But he's got a Paxton Boss that he tracks all the time. So like there's so many. What I love about the group, there's so many cool builds out there that just great ways to get ideas. I was very blessed when I went to Skip Barber, and we had him on the channel a while ago, so it's still in the live stream videos you can go check out. But we had a guy who I met at my racing school who used to own a Boss, and he sold it to Go Pro. And if you haven't heard that story, it's a freaking crazy story. Like it should be a movie, honestly, because he could have got arrested for sure. His Boss setup was awesome. He got some of the he had parts on his car that were only made for the Grand Prix series. What series did they race?
So that's the IMSA Grand Sport. So GS is a class. So I actually have right over here, I've got the coilovers from his car. It was a takeoff from one of the Boss 302Rs. So I picked those up.
That's probably what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah. Those are expensive.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. Hey, dude, I appreciate you coming on here, man. You got a lot of cool stuff there.
Thanks. I didn't know how to get on here. As a couple times before I wanted to chime in, but anyways, I'm glad I was able to.
No, I like keeping it pretty open, and anyone's welcome to come on. I usually, if someone sits in the like we call it the basement before we get brought up here. So like, if I've never seen you before, and if people come on and they don't have their camera turned on, I'll usually be like, hey man, I gotta see your face, so I don't turn on and get a face full of a phallic object. So you know,
Right.
other than that, because that can hurt me. But you know, I appreciate you coming on, and yeah, dude, I'd love to get out there sometime, just kind of see what you got.
Cool. So we have the it's about 60 or 70 miles north of here is Circuit of Americas, COTA, which is where they run Formula One now. So I haven't been on that track yet, but near there is Harris Hill. That's more of a membership. But I've run out there about 20 days with the number 57 right here. So they used to have a group, track guys that would do a tour, and they would come through Texas World Speedway out in College Station. And so that was a fun group to run with. A bunch of bosses, and then, you know, the GT350 started showing up, but then they closed down Texas World Speedway to put a neighborhood there. So we lost out there.
Rich, you got a sweet car, man. 350R is nice. So I just did a car show this past weekend, and I put up a short of it. And I was gonna make a video, and I kind of decided, you know what, I'm having a good time with my kids. It's been a long time since I've done a car show, so I just kind of like put the camera down after a minute. And I was just kind of hanging out with my boys. But there was a Fat House Performance or Fat House Fabrications, whatever they go by. But there was usually I've seen the 800R, I've seen the 1000R. It was a 1200R. It was a twin turbo 1200R GT350. So freaking nice. It was a ridiculous build.
And Jason B, if you're still in here, the guy's name's Tony Jacobs. And I was the last person to comment 5 weeks ago. If you have a 2013, he has one splitter left.
What about 12? So you guys comment on that?
He only had one of each, and he must have sold the 12 because I asked him, do you still have the 13 version? He says, if you're looking for a 13, yes, I have one left. So.
Nate, now he's going to buy it. You better pull out that credit card quick.
I was thinking about it, but then again, I kind of probably should rebuild my transmission first.
Let's talk about, that's what I was going to talk about. So, so my transmission, dude, been whining since 60,000 miles, and not like a quiet whine. Like, I've driven by people and they're like, do you have a supercharger in there? I'm like, nope, it's just my crazy loud transmission. I changed the fluid, no metals, right? It's probably a pilot bearing or the throwout bearing, probably. But like, honestly, I drove it on that track. I did not miss a gear, nothing. No issues, no getting locked out. The car handled great. And so like that's why like I'm not in a rush to put the Calimer on, because my stock trans is just holding up just fine.
Mine's got 35,000 and third's gone.
That sucks. I
bought it that way. I paid 40,000 for it to be that way because it was that way on day one. It just doesn't do it all the time. It's just progressively got worse. It's almost like you don't push the clutch in far enough. But I've moved my seat up to where I'm sitting in the steering wheel, where I have to smash it off the floor and it'll still grind. And now it's starting to do it at slower speeds.
Gosh,
like just normal shifting. It's a click before it shifts in. So I know the synchronizer.
Oh snap! Look what he's carrying right there.
Oh hey, look.
Oh man, look at that. Oh, you're full screen, brother.
So here's I guess a 12, and then I got a 13 here. But if you guys are interested, I can make templates.
There you go, Brailsford. See, you were talking about me getting out the pocketbook.
Dude, I work for the government, man. I don't get paid enough. When I retire and then I work for the government and I double dip, then I'll get paid enough. But not until that day comes. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know a fabrication guy though.
Yeah, I think we could fairly easily take a template and then have somebody CNC cut that out.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've been wanting to do, so those are Laguna Secas, and on the 12 right here, I want to put I think it's the World Challenge splitter on there. It's just a little bit shorter. It doesn't stick out quite so far.
Yeah.
That would be nice. That would be my kind of splitter right there.
Yeah.
See, I kind of want the Laguna, and honestly, like that Tiger Racing hood, I want that too.
Yeah, I wish I had it down on the floor so I could show it a little bit better.
No,
So
you're
maybe
good, man.
next time I'll make sure I have it
I
where
try-
it's accessible.
I do try and go live on Tuesdays when I can, but like I got a new job I started about a month ago, so my schedule's been a lot more crazy lately. So now I just kind of go when I can on here. You know, I've been pretty easygoing. Like if people show up, then we hang out, chat, and I'm willing to do it. If people don't show up, then I end it early and go to bed. No big deal. But yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming on, you and Dipstick, because you know, it's nice getting new faces in here, seeing new builds. But I like getting ideas from other people, man. Like you know,
Yep.
you might have an idea of how you want to do something, and then somebody else introduces something to you, and it changes how you look at your own car.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go back through the video. I saw Dipstick was giving a tour of the car he had there. Is it a Boss 302S? I missed
No,
it.
he's got a GT, but like you should go check out his channel because he's got some crazy track videos. Like there's one where he's racing in the rain, and you'd think it was dry ground. Like he's moving.
Well, my car was built completely off of the 302S. It's got almost every single part from that car, minus the motor.
Have you done it? Have you done anything to the motor? Or is the motor still the originals and good to go?
You know, still original.
That's
So
awesome.
when it blows up, I'll be dropping a 5.2 illuminator in there,
There you go.
likely, which might be soon because the kilometers are pretty high. We're in kilometers in Canada, so it's already up to 130,000 kilometers.
So that's about 80,000
That's what I was
miles.
going to say. About 80 sounds about right.
Yeah.
Those are hard miles based on you.
And now a fire too. You got to check out my fire video.
Yeah, I'll check that out here when I get a second here.
And then
So
yeah, I was going to tell you for the drive shaft, there's one tip which it's not. I think there's only one thread on TMO that talks about it. So when you put it together, you have on the diff side, you have the hardware. There's only two of these cap bolts.
Yep.
Or hex bolts, and then the other, I think it's 4 of them are these.
The Allens, yep.
The Allen. So you'll want to get an 8mm. I think it's an 8mm Allen. You'll need a ball Allen to put these on, because you got to kind of like angle it, right? It's very
It's
tight.
tough to get in and out without like a special tool. Or I think I might even just used like a ball universal. I think I was able to get by with.
And then one thing is these 2 bolts have to be put in first. You kind of have to slip them in, and these 2 go. I wish I had it on me. It's at the shop getting balanced to make sure the balance is okay. But the part of the drive shaft that's like the actual tube, you'll see like the 2 yoke coming out.
Yeah.
Those sides with the aluminum side are where these 2 bolts will go in. And you have to
The only place they'll fit.
Yeah, it's the only place they'll fit, but you got to put them in first before you try and slip it onto the diff. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the bolts in once it's already on. If you already start bolting it up with these guys, you won't be able to get these in.
Is it just because the body of the drive shaft's in the way?
Yeah, like the U-joint gets in the way.
That's good to know. Appreciate the tip.
So I like struggled with it for a bit, and I was like, "What the hell? It won't go back in." It's been a while since I installed it, but I took it off to do the new U-joint.
I don't think I'll do an install video because I think they've been done plenty. I think I'll just do a before and after and like how I feel about it thing if I do anything.
Yeah, this is the ball socket I used.
I might
Looks
actually
really
have a kit that I can get it with.
Yeah, all the install videos are out there, but they never show those small things.
Oh, because it's a pain in the butt.
And you watch the video and you're like, "Oh, I'll be done that job in an hour," and then you go to do it and something blocks you.
4 hours later.
Yeah.
Insert SpongeBob here.
Yeah, I got to get mine on the car sooner than later. I mean, maybe I could do it. I don't know. I'd like to say I could do it on Friday, but like I also got to make sure I get it done fast enough to. I got to make sure I get it done fast enough to pick up my kids from school. So my kids they're not there for super long.
It won't take you that long. It's not bad.
Well, the nice thing about the base hobby shops is there's mechanics that work there, and like they're always kind of just hanging out, seeing what you're doing, and they'll offer tips. Like if you're still, I've seen guys go in there that have no clue what they're doing. The dude's just sitting there, kind of like, "Hey, I'd do this, take that off. Here's what you should go next." And they're just sitting there because that's what they do. That's what they did. They get paid by the government to basically help people fix their cars and get out. But all they got to do is they don't do the work themselves. They just watch you, make sure you don't kill yourself.
They're definitely more motivated if you have a cool car.
Like they want to hang out and see what you're doing. Because I pulled in and there was like 3 dudes helping, like a dude helping like a Zuzu rodeo. And that guy like walked away from that guy just to cut. And I was doing something. I knew what I was doing. I was just tightening some stuff up. And he just completely came over just to hang out and see what was going on. And I thought it was pretty funny. I felt bad for it was probably a freaking corporal, and I felt really bad for him because he got abandoned over there trying to fix his probably 300,000-mile car. But whatever.
I would recommend and the guys in the group said the same thing. They said replace all your hardware whenever you put your drive shaft on. So that drive shaft doesn't come with the front 4 bolts at the transmission.
No, I reused mine.
What's that?
I reused mine.
I was going to, and I had like 3 or 4 track guys who were like, just replace it. Don't be cheap. And I was like, okay. So I bought another set.
So I believe the bolt he's holding right there, those definitely can work their way out. I can tell you from experience, a buddy of mine who lost a couple sessions due to that. But, one of the things that they say, nut and bolt the car, just start from the front and go to the back, or from the back to the front, and just put a wrench on every single bolt you can get a hold of to make sure that it's tight. Because you're spending a lot of money for that track time, and you don't want to sacrifice that because you didn't make sure everything was tight.
See,
witness marks on everything, so you can visually see if they're coming loose.
Yep.
And actually, lately I started moving over to the Daikin. Let's see if I can look under the car, maybe with a light.
So I've got the BMR safety loop too. I'm just curious how big a pain in the butt that is to install.
Oh, it's major pain. I have the same one.
Is it on the car already, or is it sitting in your shop? Not on the car.
It's on the car.
Okay. Well, that's not. See, that's what. I don't want to install the one piece without putting that on too. If I'm going through the effort.
I can't get underneath the car good enough. But yeah, it's painful because the way that the spacers work on it.
Yeah.
For clearance on the one piece, you need to kind of space it. And it's super tight under there, and you're using like 2 wrenches. It's just annoying. It's not bad. Just you're gonna have to go to like a hardware store and buy like some steel spacers or like thick washers to space out the hoop. It's like a 2-piece design that they have, right? There's a main hoop, and then there's like a metal plate that sandwiches between the transmission mount.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to buy probably additional spacer, like steel spacers.
Where do the spacers go? Like, where is it in between the transmission and the actual thing itself, or between the 2 pieces?
Between the 2 pieces, like the hoop.
Is it not spaced out enough to fit a drive shaft between?
No.
That's a weird
It might depend on your driveline angles too, but yeah, for me it was just barely enough. Like the rubber.
Are you lowered?
The rubber boot was touching like the loop itself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not lowered. I still have my stock suspension, so I'm wondering if I'd have to do that.
I'm trying to see if I can.
I got here late. What the hell are you talking about? Hey, Mike or Stu Fast, we went through. We talked about the track day. Now we're talking about track builds and track parts and stuff like that. We briefly talked about the new project car, which I'm getting more. I think I'm getting more photos rolling in here because it's happening live. Oh man, the guide coat is on the car, so that's exciting. Yeah, we're moving. The engine's not in it though.
What
What's
is that?
Yeah, this stuff works really good. You mark your bolts,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
and it hardens. Like it dries out very hard, so it won't come off under like track heat and stuff like that. I have some of it left on the drive shaft bolt here.
So you put it across that and across the actual part of the transmission, right?
Yeah. Okay. So if it comes loose, it'll actually like chip because it's like it's very hard.
Yeah,
it's like a nail polish.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's very, very like visible from even far away. It's very bright color, right? Like bright neon orange.
What was the name of that? What was the name of that stuff again? Real quick, sorry.
So it's called Torque Seal.
Torque Seal
by Daikin, or cross check Torque Seal by Daikin.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my prime cart while we're talking.
It's pretty expensive, but the tube should last a while. It's actually patent. It's made by Daikin.
It's like, I think it's like $13. That's not terrible.
Yeah, and then I like other stuff you see. I just have like paint pen, but paint pen kind of wears out and it's harder to see.
Yeah.
This stuff holds up to like everything. It's crazy.
That's good.
Even after the fire, I could still see the Torque Seal check mark. I had to go through.
How bad was this fire?
It was bad, dude. I almost lost the car.
Dude, you hear it? Man.
The whole rear end was on fire. So I just actually refreshed the entire.
All right.
rear.
We're gonna pull this up here. We're gonna watch it live. We'll get a live reaction, everybody. I want to see this thing.
I had to pull my whole axle out and like refresh everything.
All right, hold on. Was it?
I wish I had the rear lifted.
When was this uploaded?
A month ago, I think.
Okay.
I had to pull the whole rear out and like clean underneath because it was like soot. So I actually cut up the axle tube. I cut off like the spring perches and everything. So my axle tube is now super pretty and clean because I have married coilovers. So now my axle tube is all pretty.
Can you see this full screen?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to watch this because I want to see it. Was that dude giving you the no-go, like stop?
Yeah.
You guys see that? Everybody check that out.
I seen the black flag. That's a pretty good indicator if something's
This
wrong.
guy right here.
You gotta go pit.
Did you know what was going on at this point?
Yeah.
I see this. Is that starting to be? Yep, that's smoke in the cab, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh dang!
Now it's black smoke.
My foot got stuck on the stupid door sill. Now the door sill doesn't exist.
Holy cow!
couldn't get the flare started right away.
I've never seen those before.
What is that? Like a flare style fire extinguisher?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've never seen anything like that. I thought it was just a flare to like throw out on the track so like everybody knows you're there.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, go get another one. I can't see from here. Can you see it? No. I think it might be out. Woo.
What was it? A line?
Yeah, something. The car was still running.
I know, I saw that.
I think something fell down and set on fire.
Okay.
I think a panel fell down or
Do we
something.
have a jack in the truck at all? No.
Woo. This thing saved it.
Woo, man.
Wow.
Oh,
And so, what was the cause of the fire then?
Yeah, so the evap system melted down. And then, yeah, this is I have already bought another one.
I'd have like 3 of them. Them things are fantastic. I want to buy one of those for every one of my vehicles now. Probably will
Yeah.
never need it, but just to have it. That was impressive.
yeah, that's crazy, man. Dude, yeah. Hey, if you guys haven't, go watch that video on your own and like that. Or follow Dipstick's channel here.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are great because they're so light and they don't expire. That's the other main thing. They don't expire.
What is it? What's it called? What's the name of that?
Element. They should sponsor me, right?
Dude, seriously.
Proof's in the pudding.
Have you reached out to them?
Yeah, I told them they could use my video. They did like a campy voiceover, AI voiceover thing, and they used the video, but they didn't send me anything or anything like that.
Oh shoot, these things are like $100.
Yeah, they're cheap.
I don't think that was cheap.
For what I mean, for as long as that thing lasted, I would.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
got
think my little one on the wall would last that long.
You're right.
So
When your car's on
honestly, you can see.
$100 or your car.
Yeah, you can see in the video, this actually saved the car because the extinguishers couldn't fit underneath. They helped put out the fire at the beginning, but you can see I reached my arm up in there.
Oh, it was still bright orange when you went in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the extinguishers can only do so much, right? And they make a mess. The mess to clean that stuff up was insane. I'm actually kind of glad they couldn't get up underneath because the mess, even spraying from the wheels, was quite a bit of mess. But this thing, it kind of suffocates the fire is how it works. And it works for all fire types. So like you can see if you have like campfire stuff, oil fire in the kitchen, gas fire, everything. They're super nice. And it burns for 50 seconds, which is a long time.
So what's it do? What is it? Burn something inside that's actually like the extinguishant?
The smoke smothers the fire.
Okay.
It kills the fire triangle.
Yeah.
Interesting. Fight fire with fire. That's
And they make another version that's a bit bigger and it burns for 100 seconds, I think, or 120, 100. So I might buy the bigger one too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, which one is that? Is that not the 100?
This is just 50. The one in the video is the 50 because it's super light. Like this thing weighs not even a pound. It's like super light. So that's why I like it in a race car because you can mount it very easily. You can throw it in a glove box if you want to. You could throw it in a drink holder, like on the side part of your door panel.
Yeah, I was gonna say door panel would probably be a good place for it.
It literally will fit in the door panel there.
Yeah, how many views did that video get?
Not much yet.
Not enough.
Yeah, it's all about the title and the thumbnail.
I got to make more. I got to make some more videos.
Well, it's seriously though the title and the thumbnail, man. If you could, you probably re-upload that thing and if you can get a good thumbnail and title on there, and you hit the right tags, dude, I bet you that video blows up.
I had to make some clickbait then.
You do got to do that. And you know what? People's like, oh, I hate clickbait. You know what? That's what you got to do. Like,
Yeah.
it is what that's why, like, every video I go test drive a car, like, oh, I traded my Boston for the people who watch my stuff by now. If you're a local guy, you know I didn't trade my car in. I just it's nice to take a picture and put my Boss next to a Bullet, and you know, or a Bullet, or next to a Scat Pack, or a 350. You know, like, I'm not getting rid of my car, but, like, you know, I got to get people's attention.
Yeah.
This is how I get my you know, it's a very slow process, but this is how I can keep modifying my car slowly over time, is through this, because, like, my normal job pays for my kids. So let's see, dude, that's
I gotta
awesome.
upload my latest video, because then after that fire incident, I went back to the track and we had like a monsoon day, so the rain was pretty heavy and I spun like pretty bad.
Now, do you replace the whole evap system, or did you just rip it
Now
all
it's gone.
out?
No,
Okay.
it deleted itself for me. It shouldn't have been on the car anyways.
Weight reduction.
Delete it. So that's
An
funny.
emissions thing, so it's kind of useless. The only thing that's annoying now is you get a check engine light with it. I'm sure you could probably wire in some resistor, but now I have a permanent check engine light for now. I'm going to do a tune this winter. I'm going to do a little bit of power. I'll probably do like an 18 plus manifold just to try to give the old tired Gen 1 a bit of power boost.
I just seen they had an 18 plus ported one. American Muscle.
That's what
has
I
it.
plan on putting in. I'll
And it
probably
was-
go to AFS and get one of their ported 18 plus manifolds, mostly because it's also black, which looks nice.
Yeah.
And then get a good tune. I don't know who I'll get a tune with, but I'm leaning towards Lund.
Yeah, they're not going to delete your check engine light for you, though.
Yeah, probably not. Even though
Well, they got hit by the so there's a reason, like, Lund doesn't use SCT anymore. It's because SCT ratted out to the EPA.
Oh, really?
They ratted out to the EPA all these tuners that were, like, deleting check engine lights, and so that's why, like, a lot of the tuners stopped using SCT, because they're narcs. So they're like,
Maybe I'll get a local tune. I just don't trust the local tuners. I like Lund because they've done so many cars, so many Coyotes over the years.
yeah,
They've got it
I mean,
dialed in.
It's a safe bet, but they're not going to delete a check engine light for you.
Yeah.
Dipstick, what do you run for fuel on the track?
So in Canada, we just have the 94. Well, lately I've been using the new Shell. We have a new Shell 93 Nitro Plus or whatever, which is actually slightly better than the pump gas you get in the US, from what I saw from other people's tests. But it's basically the same as what you get. Like, I think it's all 91 in the US, right? Is the only premium you can get? Or is it 92, 91, 92?
We get 93.
It depends on your altitude, typically. Here in San Antonio, we can get 93, but if I run the track key, you can hear it pinging. But
Yeah.
I've heard from several people who have lost motors, they attribute that to pinging, even if they're running 93. So I know some of the guys that do a lot of tracking, what they're doing is they're adding, say, 50, 50, 93, and 100 if they can get that. So I would like to.
You're pinging on 93?
Yes. Yep. Kind of annoying. And that's just on the street and not really getting into it too heavy. So I can't imagine running on the track where I'm, running for 20, 30 minutes at a time.
That's crazy. I run 93. I've never had issues.
Fueling
I'd like to do is get a setup for E85, but I don't want to run a flex tune. So I want to do some research to see if I can just get a straight E85 tune that's kind of, I don't even know how to say it, conservative for a certain amount of alcohol rating and aggressive for another one. So kind of like in the middle. But I don't know if it'll work like that. So I want to find somebody who knows that very well that can say, here's just a straight tune that will work. I'd like to ask that guy, was it Alejandro? Or
He just had a video about, I was watching the other day about the E90 or E85 and how it works in Chevy, where it's read off the fuel rail versus the Coyotes. It's using the oxygen sensors after the fact and guessing. I'm surprised somebody hasn't actually come up with the thing to actually adapt Chevys onto Ford's fuel rail.
Well,
there is one. I've actually purchased it. I think it's called the Fuel Commander or something like that. And it uses that as a sconce detector. You put it in the fuel rail, between the fuel line and the fuel rail. But I don't know. I've heard that because of all the extra wiring and connections that some people have had some issues with it. So I don't know. I have sometimes when I run 93, I'll go ahead and run a 2 or 3 gallons of E85, and then that gets rid of the knocking or the pinging. But I'm also a little concerned that I've got the wrong air fuel ratio or whatever going on with that and potentially causing an issue.
I think you're kind of limited as well with the stock ECU, to be honest. Once you get into doing a fuel conversion like that and like a full track car, it would be super beneficial just to move to a standalone ECU.
Yeah.
Which gets expensive, but long term, if you plan on tracking long term and running E, I know all the guys that do like motor swaps and stuff, they have in standalone ECUs that you get so much more control. And like if you have a tuner, they have so much more control. The Ford system is very locked out of a lot of stuff. Not locked out, but just makes it difficult for tuners, which is another reason why for me locally in Canada, it's going to be hard to get a tune, which is why I always kept the motor stock and just focus on seat time and suspension stuff and not adding power, even though I feel like I could use a bit more power. It's just so much complications you start adding, especially with the stock ECU.
D-Tamer, I mean,
you're in Canada, would you happen to be near, was it Multimatic?
That's in Toronto. Well,
where are you at?
East Coast. I'm in the West Coast. Same as Sean.
Oh, okay.
They're rich.
Vancouver
Yeah.
area? Okay.
D-Tamer, so I respect everybody that wants to keep a car stock. There's nothing wrong with that. But I also really respect the guys that want to build what they want. Like, that's kind of like if I have all my stock parts. They're garage art at this point, or they're sitting in my storage unit. I have all the stock parts for this car because whenever the point comes where I, give this to one of my kids one day, like I want to be able to hand them everything. But like but in the meantime, I'm going to make it whatever the heck I want of it. And I'm going to put all the parts on there that I want on there. I feel like I'm tasteful with my choices. And so, I've got no issues modifying the car.
I don't know how anybody could buy it. I don't know how anybody. So that is the only thing I can say in the boss group. That's the only thing I can say is a downside of it is you literally have 2 camps. Do what you want with your car and guys heavily modify them. And there's the guys that scream because you didn't leave them stock.
Hashtag
like you're going to lose.
Boss.
Yes. I'm like, why? Oh, you're killing it. It's got 8,000 miles. Dude, the car's like 13 years old now. Or 10, 11, 12 years old. Who cares? You should have 50,000 on it if you're enjoying it.
My Laguna Seca has 156,000 on it.
There's what's this? It's Tyler Edmondson. He's got like the 225,000 mile boss. He's like driving all over the place.
And then there's the kid that bought the Grabber Blue one that was for sale when I bought mine. I would have loved to have it. He paid like, they were asking 75 or 80,000. It had, 100 original miles. It was still wrapped in all the factory stuff at the dealership. He was I seen him like 3 months after I bought mine. He bought that car because he had all the same pictures. And I've seen him on there since. He like pulled all the decals, all the paper, all the plastic off the seats, off the steering wheel. Everything was still on it as if it was the dealer. Dealer never got rid of it, never drove it.
Dang.
It was, I forget. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here, I wanted to show you this. So you had that Tribute Dan Gurney car on your short, correct? There's one
But-
for sale.
Yeah,
up here.
yep, the Salines. Yeah.
Saline 1 of 40.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, I'd like to drive one. I got a better video because I didn't make a video of my cars and coffee or the car show I just went to. I did record some footage of just with the kids, but on the way home, I saw the Saline up ahead. I'm like, well, this is cool. I'm in my Boss next to this 2007 Boss, right? And so I got some video with him next to me. And I was hoping we were lined up at a light, and I was like, oh, we're gonna hit it. This is gonna be awesome. And then there was a cop in the turn lane. I'm like, well, I guess we're not gonna hit it today.
This guy selling this one is actually a part of the Boss Group. I looked up his name, and it says right here, also a member of the Boss 3 Owners Group. So I went in there and searched him. He's never done anything more than like video. He's never made one post of anything.
There's a lot of people like that, though.
I was like, wow, okay, that's cool. I mean, it didn't bother me. It was odd to see this, and then it said that, and I was like, well, he must have a regular Boss, and there was nothing. So I'm assuming this is his car, and he never shared it because he was afraid he would get flack because it's not, in theory, a Boss, but I understand there's a tribute to it as well.
I mean, yeah, come on, Stupid Fast, join us. Yeah. Well, yeah, Boss.
Got to jump off now, Matt. It was fun. I'll
Hey, man, thanks for hopping on here.
more stuff.
What's your name?
Dylan.
Dylan. Hey, man, I appreciate you hopping on. Are we friends on Facebook? I don't think we are, but we should be. So I can get ideas from you.
Yeah, no problem. Shoot me your info. I'll send you. Instagram's probably the easiest way to reach me.
Okay.
So if you have any questions about installing anything or
Yeah, man.
whatever, I just recently moved close to where Sean lives, actually. So I finally have a garage. So I already have the cars, been on stands and working on the car so much since I moved in here.
Well, I'm glad Sean came on and told a story because, like, I had no idea that was the same car. That blew my mind. I thought he got a donor GT and just pulled the motor and threw it in there and called it good, dude. I had no idea it was the same car. That was a shocking story.
Yeah, I helped a lot with the rebuild of that car, and we spent a lot of time in the garage, and
Oh, I'm sure.
so we know these cars really well now. And yeah, I'm making parts too. You know, the rear brake calipers, the brackets that Blowfish used to make, who doesn't exist anymore. You know, the aluminum Blowfish bracket for the GT500 brakes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I have those now. I made a CNC. I already have them on the car.
I'm curious as to I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to Google it. I have no idea.
So they make, like, you're talking about the adapter, so you can take the GT500 rear brakes and put them on the at normal S197 GTs, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So it takes a bigger rotor and it's a little bit bigger caliper from
Yeah.
the GT500.
No, the caliper's the same. Caliper's the same, but yeah, they don't make the brackets anymore because Blowfish got, I guess, bought out by American Muscle or something. So I do 3D stuff for work, so I built up a CAD file and just got them printed out in billet aluminum.
Okay.
And test them on the car. So
They 3D print metal?
well, not 3D print, like CAD,
Oh, okay.
like CNC'd it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You're getting ready. I thought you were getting ready to expose something I had never even heard of.
But no, they can 3D print metal now too.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I appreciate you hopping on, dude.
Yep.
You got a badass car, and I'm glad you saved it. That video is nuts.
Thanks. Yeah.
Good to meet you, Dylan.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, later. I actually should probably hit the sack here. I got to get up a lot earlier in my new job than I used to in my old job. But I appreciate you hopping on here. Todd, that's right, Todd. Sorry, I am the worst with names, and I meet a lot of people. So I appreciate it. I hope I can get down there sometime because I'd love to check out your awesome garage there. It looks like a dream garage.
Yeah, sounds good. See if you can swing a TDY or something, and I'll show you around.
I highly doubt it because I'm Navy, not Marine. So everywhere I go involves blue water.
Well, so I have a few a couple Marines and a few Navy guys that work for me. So maybe we can swing something.
What do you do? Well, actually, we can talk. Actually, message me on Facebook or somewhere, or Instagram or
Okay.
something. We can talk on there.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody, have a good night.
See y'all later.
Nate, appreciate you hopping on here. Stoop Fast, Victor, Mike, everybody else who's been hanging around. Rich, appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go to sleep, and the boss track video should be up on Sunday, so that'll be dropping probably I think I usually do 3 p.m. or so, something like that. But everybody, have a good night, and I'll try and get on next week, but we'll see what happens. So take care.